CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products, such as our can-can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American-made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now, it's time to Stand for Truth with the host of Stand for Truth Radio, Susan Knowles.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Bringing everybody else in. Good to see you. Hey, Jamie, prayers for everybody in Las Vegas. Gary, how are you? Robin, how is everybody? Looks like we're having a hard time getting things up today. Sad, very sad, Gary. Absolutely very sad. Let me try to bring on our people in over here on Facebook if I can. Looks like there's technical issues with Facebook, not surprisingly. There we go. Good morning. Thank you, Jules. Thank you for the super hearts. Carmen, hello. Tammy, how's everybody? If you would please invite your followers. I'd really appreciate it. Retweet this if you will. I know, too many talking heads this morning. Exactly. Hey, Rainbow Trail. Things are crazy. I apologize ahead of time. I've been up pretty much all night. I watched Periscope as it was happening and wasn't a very peaceful night, of course, and so I may misspell, get your name wrong or say your name wrong or whatever. I'm so sorry if I do. Stop Incumbency, how are you? Hey, Teresa, good to see you. I'm just going to go ahead and really quickly here and read Psalm number 6, Prayer of Faith in Time of Distress. As you please, hey, Robin, good to see you. Please invite your followers. O Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger, nor chasten me in your hot displeasure. Have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is greatly troubled. But you, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver me. O save me for your mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of you. In the grave who will give you thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All night I make my bed swim. I drench my couch with my tears. My eye wastes away because of grief. It grows old because of all my enemies. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, for the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and greatly troubled. Let them turn back and be ashamed suddenly. Ah, my goodness. I know how much everybody has seen about what's been going on. You know, as I said, I watched as all of this was unfolding last night. There's very little that they know. I'll tell you what has been said and what they say they do know. Hey, Frankie, good to see you. Thanks, Carmen, for the super hearts. Stephen Paddock, age 64. He is a man that they're saying checked in to the Mandalay Bay 3 days ahead of time, which would have been on Thursday. Good morning, Frankie. Hey, Barbara. And there was a 3-day concert going on. I guess it started Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was the last night. Jason Aldean was up on the stage singing at the time that the shooting began. I watched the shooting as people were, seconds after, and I'm not even sure if some of it was what I was watching right during what happened. But people were running. People were getting trampled. There were so many people. They said about 22,000 people in that concert. Hey, Gigi. And they were saying, and you could watch when people started to run, there was just no place to go. And a lot of people just fell to the ground to kind of, yeah, they were sitting ducks. Exactly, Robin. And they fell to the ground, not knowing where to go, not knowing where the shots were being fired. They couldn't run. There wasn't any room to run. I mean, you would have had to have run on top of people. Good morning, Angeline. And so a lot of people just stayed put. And I think, in the beginning, when Jason Aldean was singing, you couldn't tell whether or not, I mean, it sounded a little bit, if you were there, I think it probably sounded more like that. Hi, Kim. Sounded like firecrackers going off, or, something that they were doing as part of the show. And even Jason Aldean kept singing, he didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, it became very obvious. He stopped singing. It became obvious what it was. People started screaming. And as I said, I saw people falling down, getting trampled. Some of them probably were getting shot. Another man in a video was saying that, he had seen the woman who got shot in the head. And, hey, preacher. And he was like, oh, my God. And he was running back to his car to get his gun. And he said, I left my gun in the car, stupid me. But, I mean, who goes to a concert thinking that some lunatic is going to be shooting at you from the 32nd floor? Hey, Clint, good to see you. 32nd floor of a Mandalay Bay. As you probably have seen this morning on Fox News or other stations that you're watching, there were 2 windows shot out. And as you know, if you've ever been to Vegas, hey, Renee, you can't open those windows. So he had to shoot out the windows in order to do what he did. It looks like that maybe some people that have stayed there before said that it looks like he was in the same room. One looks like a bathroom area, and the other one looks as though, it's the main area. And they said that he basically they feel that he was shooting out of both windows. And, he had time, obviously, in the 3 days to bring, they said, let me just see, there were 10 rifles, 2 platforms, and cameras in the room, according to the last report that I read. So he had time to set up in the room. He had time to surveil the area. Most likely people are saying that he went down to see, the concert being set up, where the bottleneck was, where would be the hardest place for people to get out of the area. So he knew kind of exactly where to shoot. I'm sure he had what he needed on that whatever he was firing to have the night vision that he needed in order to target people. I mean, just absolutely amazing and horrendous. What was 50 plus people dead, a total of 406 injured, which includes the 50 plus people. No, it's not a hoax, Renee. No. 2 police officers who were off duty, my understanding, have been killed. It was absolute pandemonium when it was happening. No crisis actors, no hoax. No, it happened. You can't fake that. I know every time we want to just say, oh, that's a hoax, or whatever. It wasn't a hoax. The ISIS is now claiming responsibility for the shooting, but with no proof yet that they did it. They're claiming, somebody is claiming on the news anyway, that the man converted to Islam several months ago, and that's why he did it. But I don't know if that's true or not. Josette said, morning, my condolences to what happened in your country, praying for all of you. Thank you, Josette. This was stated by Independent. You can look up the link. Las Vegas shooting, ISIS claims responsibility. Yes, Gary. So sad, praying for all the victims, all responders, law enforcement. And as it was happening last night, everybody was just running every different direction. And what we were hearing from the people I was watching on Periscope, it was saying they were shooting at Tropicana. They're shooting at the Luxor. There's a bomb at Luxor. Then there was a bomb in the SUV, a black SUV, like an Audi SUV. And then they were talking about they're shooting at Caesars. They're shooting at New York Cafe. And there's shooting in the area behind there. Some people were saying that I know, Marianne, I don't know if I slept at all, to tell you the truth. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd see everything. I can't only imagine what those people who were actually there are going through. Hey, Karen, good morning. But they were saying all over the place that they were shooting everywhere. People were running, trying to get away. Some people were claiming that may have been a way to try to help the shooter get away. Um, and that's why that they were doing that, in order to give him an opportunity to sort of distract, get them away from the Mandalay Bay, and get them looking elsewhere. You could hear people calling in, different. I think at the time it was police officers calling in, not knowing what was happening, and just worried. You could hear the frantic sounds of their voices, worried that things were coming their way, and they weren't advised of anything. They were being told by the people on the phone they were speaking to, to hold tight, that people were coming, that people were trying to find out what was going on. They were asking them to remain calm. They were saying, are you hearing gunfire at this time? And they were saying, no, I'm not hearing that. And they're like, okay, stay calm. So I think in a way, no, they said that the woman that they were looking for, the woman of interest, hey Jerry, hey Brian, good morning, was either his roommate or his girlfriend. I don't know which one she actually was. She is no longer a person of interest. They have contacted her. They contacted her pretty rapidly. She's no longer a person of interest. Hey Donnie, hey Cully, and so that's kind of been put to rest. He was from Mesquite, Nevada, which is not very far away. He has been a person, they said 62-year-old woman, yeah, possibly. Could have been his girlfriend, Jerry, I'm not really sure. But they were saying also that he had maybe a citation years ago in Mesquite. Even Mesquite doesn't know who he is, according to what I've heard, because they said this guy never caused any trouble at all. They weren't aware of who they are. Now, according to Las Vegas, from what we were hearing at least last night, is that Las Vegas was aware of this guy. I haven't heard that report again today, so I don't know if that's true or not. The guy seems to be a bit of a mystery because of the fact that he doesn't seem to have been a troublemaker or anything else going on. I don't know, Jerry. I'm hearing that ISIS is claiming responsibility too, so I don't know. Barbara, I saw a picture of him, and pictures don't really tell you who the person is. But the picture didn't look like this was some lonely guy. In fact, I think the woman of interest, at least another woman, was sort of hanging on to his arm, so he wasn't by himself. He wasn't a loner. He was in some place drinking. So, hey, Asher, good to see you. So I'm not really sure what that was going on. Nick, if you're being disrespectful, you will be asked to leave and you will be blocked. There's no sense in you coming in here and trying to say disrespectful things to the people who have died and their families who may be going out on Periscope to try to hear things. No, okay, Dave, you're out of here. No time for racism this morning. I'm not even, I'm in no mood for this. None. You got to understand that there are people that are hurting, people whose family members have lost their lives, people who had died last night and were left on the sidewalk because there was so much to do that they couldn't take care of those people and what was happening with the 400 other people. So please, if you want to be snarky today, this isn't the place to do it. I watched last night and I didn't want to believe that people were sitting there in the scopes making fun of the situation and cracking jokes. What is wrong with people? With some people, absolutely crazy. Just unbelievable. It's not funny in any way, shape, or form. Hey, Ranger, good to see you. They said that Waterboy, that somebody, I think Fox News was reporting that he may have converted to Islam several months before. They can't confirm that. Yeah, nothing funny about 400 injured and 50 people dead, and probably more will die. I'm sorry. I find nothing funny about this. And in fact, these are birth pangs. If you think this is just people, doing, I don't know. If you think this is your everyday crime rate that we're seeing in America, it's not. It's birth pangs. And our focus, we're sitting there, we're focused on the stupid NFL taking a knee. And I know, we all were. I was, still will be, I'm sure. But, that compared to what happened in Las Vegas is absolutely nothing. Zero. Also, if anybody is in the area, if you know anybody in the area of Las Vegas, they need blood really badly there. They're asking for birth pangs, Pangs, which is like having giving birth. That once they start, they don't stop. It's a biblical. We read about it in the Bible of what's coming. It's going to get worse. As I said, they need blood. Yeah, Fred. I mean, there's no sense. You know, it's like being angry is not going to help anything. Being awake, being awake is going to help more than anything else. Hey, Patrick, being aware of what's coming. I was just there at the Mandalay Bay. Left on Saturday. Ranger Black said over on Facebook. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm just, you know, one of the reasons that I come on every day. Maybe you're wondering, why does she come on every day? One of the reasons I come on every day is not to just give you the news, because you can do that yourself. What I want to do is sound the alarm that you see where the world is going, that you see what's happening, that you see how quickly things are deteriorating, that you see that the focus shouldn't be on politics all the time. You know, all these people who want your money so they can go out and start some whatever group for MAGA. You know, this is... You know what? Politics is not going to save you in what's coming. And again, if you don't realize that this is a spiritual war that we're in, I don't know what's going to wake people up. I really don't know. It is a battle between good and evil, and it will get worse. And we have to be prepared. And you're probably thinking, well, how do you prepare for something like this? You prepare spiritually the best way that you can prepare. And then you do everything on the earth that you can do to prepare. That's what you do. But, you know, to be looking at, well, what candidate am I going to run in the next, you know, city council or wherever is really not priority. As we race ahead long toward the final days, Patrick said, absolutely. Spiritual war that's been coming for years, yes. And, you know, I wrote a little bit about this in the article. They removed the lady from the event. The lady that got shot in the head, Jerry, is that who you're talking about? It was Yom Kippur. Hell of a way to start the new year. Huh. Well, you wonder, Ranger Black, being that it was Yom Kippur, if that had anything to do with it. I don't know. And I guess that we won't find that out until later on today and tomorrow and all that. Thank you, Just said I'm one of the watchmen on the wall. Marshall said, I just wonder what in the heck happened to this guy's life to foment this. Was he just totally crazy? What were the precursors? Spencer, looking at the picture, and again, pictures don't tell the whole picture of anybody's life. He didn't look crazy. He really didn't. And his brother in Florida was absolutely shocked. I don't know if you saw the interview with his brother. His brother started crying. He said, he didn't understand because we don't understand. We don't understand what happened. And this guy, I guess, apparently used to live in Florida, and then he moved to Nevada. I don't know what job he did. Yeah, the rumor has it, Freebird, that he went to Islam, converted a couple of months ago. And again, I don't know if that's true or if that's just something that they're saying. Lisa, I think I remember your name being Lisa. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not wide awake today, so sorry about that. News interviewed young gal who said she was warned and up by first few rows. You know, there was one young woman, and I didn't see it, I just heard, that they're claiming on Fox News that she ran for 8 miles to try to get away. Now, that seems a little bit far to me, but I don't know. There were some people supposedly who ran and went into some storage unit and broke down the barriers to get in there, and that was pretty far away. Yeah, you could on adrenaline. I mean, again, people were, Patrick said, isn't it strange that we prepare for food, earthquakes, even nuclear war, but we refuse to prepare for the end times? I know, Patrick, people don't want to believe that we're in the end times. People want to believe that it's just business as usual, that everything's going to be okay tomorrow, and that, you know, that everything's just fine, and we can MAGA. You know, I'm sorry. You know, that is not what we're doing here. And I'll tell you one thing that I truly feel strongly about. I truly do feel that, you know, Donald Trump is a person that God put in as president at this time. I honestly do. And in a lot of respects, I know he's been compared to a David. We have to remember, you know, that David was not perfect. and neither is this president. But this president is the man who is guiding us at this time, and I feel that it's absolutely, wonderful that he is, and it wasn't somebody else, as you know who it could have been. Thanks, Judy. And I just believe that we should continue to know that Donald Trump, as wonderful as he is and as wonderful as it is that God appointed him at this time, Donald Trump is not going to save us. Only God can save us. Our focus shouldn't constantly be about Donald Trump and what he's doing, although we have to continue to pray for him because the evil against him is so paramount. But we need to focus on God. We have to turn our focus back on God, and that's the only way we're going to get through this. Ranger Black said the last Trump biblical. Yeah. President Trump needs our prayers and the strength to get through all this. Absolutely. This president has so much on his plate that it's unbelievable. I've never seen this for any president in my lifetime. Truly believe this is a gun grab, especially after Roy Moore win. Political Mayor Paramore said, I don't necessarily think that political, and this wasn't, I don't see this as a hoax. No, I've never seen so much vitriol against a person. You could still see bullet holes in the steel storage unit. Yeah, Spencer, that's true. Hello, Jamie, good to see you. God bless America. Absolutely. Trump ordered a flag at half-staff. Yes. Which I think was a really good thing for him to do. He's going to go to Las Vegas on Wednesday. I don't know if it was, the guy looked to be an American to me. I don't know if he was. I mean, there's no reason to doubt that he wasn't American. But they said also, they're reporting on Fox, that he had converted to Islam several months ago. I have no idea of knowing if that's true or not. But that's what was said on Fox. And Fox is kind of being cautious. They also had Buck Sexton on. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a former, worked with the CIA. And he basically said that the guy knew what he was doing. He had taken an elevated stance in a building in the Mandalay Bay. And he knew the vantage point. He knew where the people were going to be, that it looked like he had pretty much looked at the area, surveilled it, knew what he was going to do. I've not seen anything in the Muslim Connection. Cully, it came out, breaking news a few minutes ago. It's all over the place. So, but there's no proof that ISIS has offered yet that says they did it. They're just saying they take responsibility for it. He is registered Democrat in Florida, somebody said. The shooter planned it well. Yes, he did, Jamie. Yes, he did. Yeah, there were cameras. I don't know if there were cameras videotaping what he was doing, but there were certainly cameras in the room, and according to reports, he killed himself before the police came into the room. I did hear last night as I was watching, they were telling everybody to back away, all the SWAT people to back away from the door of the room, that they were going to go in and throw a flash bomb. And that's what they did. They said breach, breach, breach 3 times, and then they went in. But apparently, he was already dead. Robert, if you're being disrespectful today, you're going to be on my last nerve, and you'll be out of here. This is no time for snide remarks. Be respectful today. I'm curious to see how he got all the guns into the room. Well, he had 10 of them, and he had 3 days in which to do it. So it's quite possible that Robin, it was about 10:30-ish last night, because I had gone to bed just around 10:30, and right after is when all of it broke out. And people, again, it was just pandemonium. People just screaming, running, blood everywhere. And they're saying that even today that there are still people who are injured, and I don't know, they're on the sidewalks. I mean, that to me is hard to believe that's happening. Robert, everybody probably in this room, except with yourself, has a different view about Second Amendment than you do. So you need, like I said, if you want to make a political statement today, go someplace else with that. A month ago, ISIS said there would be an attack in Las Vegas. I I was hearing, mighty blessed one, that Vegas, that the ISIS told everybody this weekend in, who was whatever country they were in, to stay away from public places in the United States. Canada was another area, and I can't remember the other country, but they said stay out of public places. The hatred present in the world today is of biblical proportions and foretold in the Bible. President Trump is our leader, but Jesus is our Savior. Absolutely, Patrick. And that's what we have to remember. Yep. So, again, there were about 22,000 people at that concert. 10 guns, all rifles. They're saying, they said 10 rifles, Jamie, and it said 2 platforms. They're not saying yet what, if that was an AK-47 or what it was, or if it was a fully automatic. I don't know. It sounded like a machine gun. And when I was hearing it on the periscopes, it sounded like a machine gun. I went to a show in Vegas back in May. No security, never again. And this is not funny, but I'm saying funny odd, that back in August, there was an event that happened in Vegas, and they were saying it was a shooter at that time, and they were trying to find that shooter. I don't know if that was a practice run. I don't know. Jamie says that one was an AK that he knows. I just haven't heard. I've not heard anybody will confirm exactly what it was. So again, if you're in Las Vegas and you have ability to donate blood, they're extremely short supply right now. I mean, you think with about 356 people that they're going to need blood. A lot of people, they were saying, had blood all over them, but it was somebody else's blood. Thank you from India. Thank you for your solidarity. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you can buy guns in anywhere. And those people who are criminals don't follow gun laws. They go and get guns wherever they can get them. But again, this happened, and I don't know, in France, two women were killed in France by a terrorist attack over the weekend. So, blood bank lines are 2 hours long, Jamie said. Wow. There's a number, if you saw anything, if you were in Vegas and you took pictures of what was going on, or you took video, they want you to call them. And this is the number for the FBI, because they're still trying to piece together what happened. Our hearts are breaking in. We seem helpless to all. Canada has attack. The number is 1-800-225-5324. Again, it's 1-800-225-5324. That's the number to the FBI. If you took any pictures, any videos, they want them. Yes, exactly. We saw you two in Buffalo a few weeks ago. Outside the gates were fully armed with automatic weapons, Fred said. Well, I mean, what's the story with the woman? Jamie, that the woman was either his friend or his girlfriend or roommate. They have spoken with her, according to the police. She was a person of interest in the beginning. She's no longer a person of interest. So that's all I know. That's all I know about her. Yeah, I mean, it is happening everywhere, Lee, and it's not something that is just going to be confined to Las Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, Buford, they were saying that on Fox as well. It's pretty much being widely spread around now that that ISIS had taken responsibility for it. But again, watching those people run last night and try to get away, and just having all those calls, it sounded like his girlfriend is out of the country. Oh wow, Chris said. I didn't hear that one. I didn't know. They didn't say where they had contacted her. But hearing those, he had a criminal record. Jamie, he had one citation a few years ago. That's it, is what they're saying. After my 44 years in the military, I believe it was military-grade weapons in use. Yes. Even with 10 weapons, he could not have changed weapons and kept the same discharge rate, Patrick said. Yeah, Patrick, it sounded to me like a machine gun, or M16. I've fired M16s before. To me, it sounded like that. I know that there's so much further ahead now than M16s, but it sounded like that type of weapon to me. Everything you're witnessing today are points to the politics. No, it's not about Jews. Please. ISIS always claims responsibility. Don't be fooled. Yeah, and that's why they're waiting to see. So, I'm sure as the day goes on, we'll find out more and more. And we'll find out, is there a terrorist connection? More than one shooter, they've been kind of asking, could this one person have done all of this to set all of this up and everything? And people don't know. People don't know if there was more than one shooter. Last night, again, as they were talking about, shots being fired at the Tropicana, shots being fired in Caesars, the Luxor, on and on and on, then it seemed like there were more people. But was that a distraction? If indeed this guy was connected to ISIS, was that a way to distract from where he was to allow him time to get out? It didn't sound like to me that he tried to get out. I mean, it was obvious, hey Lisa, obvious to the police, they could see the holes in the windows and knew where he was. Jamie thought he had help. Not to take away from the conversation, a terrorist investigation underway in Edmonton where a police officer was stabbed and 4 pedestrians struck down by a fleeing U-Haul truck Saturday night. I know, Gary. It's amazing. And there was also, I'm trying to get the, one police officer was stabbed and 4 individuals were injured in 2 incidents outside a Canadian Football League stadium in Edmonton on Saturday. Police suspect terrorism is the act when the driver of a white Chevy Malibu careened into a traffic barricade, then got out and attacked a nearby police officer with a knife before fleeing on foot. Later, a U-Haul van was stopped at an impaired driving check stop, and the driver sped off with police in pursuit. The U-Haul hit and injured 4 pedestrians before rolling on its side. The suspect was subsequently arrested. There were people flying and everything, a witness said. I'm shocked. I just see people flying. And that was in Edmonton, Canada. Yes, Gary, 2 windows were broken out of the hotel, and they knew exactly at that point where he was. And, it's amazing that the police found him that quickly. I mean, it truly is because, when pandemonium is going on like that, a lot of people would not have looked up. Police are supposed to be trained to look up and see where things are coming. But when you're trying to run like that, you're not sure. Not unheard of to be fatally ill and take money. I couldn't get that fast enough. Has anyone heard an update on the rundown driver in New York? Smoke detectors went off in the room, helped them too. 4 little boys were run over last night around 9 in Las Vegas. 3 were killed, Asher said. There were children at that concert too. You could see little kids running too. Yeah, beware of November 4th, another day of Antifa says they're going to start killing people on that day. They want to kill police officers and the president and take over the nation, according to reports that I've heard. And that Antifa, it's really Antifa because it's anti-fascist is who they are. It's so sad, I know. November 4th, yes, that's a Saturday. Yeah, run first time they get shot. And according to that Steven Crowder video, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but, he shows them sitting there talking, this guy who was pretending to be Antifa, sitting there talking to another person, supposedly in Antifa, and talking about, here's a knife for you to use, and we have our guns in the car. Try to lure people over to the car. So, these people are serious. Jamie's saying, yes, they want civil war. Yeah, they do. They do. Watch if you haven't. They got undercover. Yes. Yeah. That's a good video to watch. A very good video. And he turned it over to the police, and the mainstream media didn't want it. I know Penny Lane is horrible. Antifa, they are the fascists. That's right. And that's, Gary, that's a good point, and for everybody to know. The Bible talks about things will be upside down, right? Black will be white, blue will be green, whatever, red will be green, and vice versa. Just giving you an idea. Everything is going to be sort of like opposites, right? Well, you have Antifa who are saying we hate the fascists, and they're going out and killing conservatives because they're saying conservatives and anybody alt-right or whatever, that those people are the real fascists. And they're not. The real fascist is Antifa. So it's so confusing. Getting tired of all this. Texas Kilo. Good is evil and evil is good. There you go, Julia. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. And I'll tell you, if you don't know who God is at this point, you better quickly learn who God is and who the person is that says that they, that they're a follower of God, follow them, whatever. You should learn who is God. You should know who's telling you the truth and who isn't. Because as times get darker, and they're going to, hate to say that, you're going to need to know what's going on. If you guys would, please retweet this right now and share, because we're at the halfway part. We're actually a little bit past it. Why is Antifa even allowed near any protest? National Guard should be there. I don't think, see, that's the whole thing. Again, here we go with the, upside down, good is evil, evil is good. Antifa, everybody made that big statement after the president came out and said there were a lot of people responsible for what happened at Charlottesville. And nobody wanted Antifa to be a part of that. And that new bill that they signed saying let's get rid of white supremacists, and they're bad, which they are. Antifa was not included in that. So I don't know why. I do know why. It's spiritual. But I'm just saying, they should have been included. Those people who were there and caused trouble, all of those people should have been included. White supremacists, KKK, Antifa, everything. I have no idea. Texas. Not mine when they're killing people. One evil word, Soros, yeah. We don't want martial law. You start a slippery slope when you start sitting in the military, Renee said. Well, not fair. Antifa should have been on top of the list. Absolutely, Penny. I should have been. Absolutely. In California, if you're a member of a gang, they don't allow you to associate with each other. And they're going to have to start doing that with Antifa. I mean, these people are banding together. And because they do that, look at what they're trying to do. Look at what they want to do on November 4th. Hey, Robert, how are you? So they're going to have to be just like the gangs. In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act, Gary said. Yeah, they've been giving press conferences all day with Las Vegas. We won't even list Muslim Brotherhood to be named as terrorist group. It was a long night for us. I know, Robert. Were you watching it? I mean, I was watching everything, and then after I turned it off, I couldn't sleep. I just saw people and heard gunshots all the time, I know. And we weren't even there, Robert. Can you imagine if we were there, what those people are going through, how their lives have been absolutely and forever changed? Good, Robert. Yeah, I a lot of it, I turned the chat off. I mean, people, as I was saying earlier, people were joking about people dying. It was just, you could feel the, evil in the room. Been up since 3, Marlene said. I had friends in Vegas last night, was so worried. Thank God they are okay. Yes. Yeah, I can't imagine. So many trolls. It was just disgusting. Absolutely. The vileness that you see in some people, and you wonder if they're really even people. I mean, they're so demonic. Once Antifa is recognized, it will be a protected political group of the left. Trolls are really sick people. A terrible night. Trolls don't care. I know. Have to hide the chat on miniscopes. I know. I do too. I've even had to start doing that on Fox when the president is going places. I just hide the chat. I can't even stand to see what people are saying. I've never seen so vile. But, there again, and I know I keep harping on this, but it's important to harp on it. And forgive me, saying it this morning. The people that we're seeing, the evil, the vileness coming out of people, it's not even human anymore. for a lot of people. And I'm not joking about that. I'm not trying to sound like a Bible thumper, a this, a that, but it's just absolutely true. I mean, we're so surrounded by demonic forces. Fox News is saying 58 dead now. And it again, these are birth pangs. They're going to get worse. As they say in the many pastors that I've heard, once they start, and you women out there who've been pregnant and have given birth, once they start, they don't slow down. They just get, faster and faster and closer together until the birth. And that we're seeing this. Jamie said it's time to start carrying my 10 millimeter. 59 dead now, 515 injured. My aunt and cousin were shot last night. This is so sad. This day is so sad. It is. And Marianne is saying 515 injured, 58 dead in the latest. Unbelievable. Pray up and load up, Barbara said. Police chief seemed to be struggling, really shook up. Something like this has never happened in Las Vegas. We are in the time of the devil, and God has told us he's going to rapture us up, not a lie effect. I'm ready for the rapture. Come now. Maranatha, come now. This makes you believe the part of the Bible, an eye for an eye. Well, I mean, again, people, this is, I think they said this is the worst, what was the word they said? Like the worst tragedy in American history. Deadliest shooting in modern U.S. history. That's what they're saying. And obviously not more than 9/11, but 9/11 was different. It wasn't a shooting, and this is the deadliest shooting in modern U.S. history. And again, the shooter checked in on the 28th, and again, had about 3 days to go around and see. Asher said, me to pray for my son and Doug. They are not ready. Asher, I do pray that they find God, and they need to do it quickly. Yes, where's Massacre? No, it makes me believe that the rapture is going to happen before my life ends. I know, Penny Lane, they're saying that everything really almost has been done, that God could come back at any time. People gnash their teeth and wring their hands worrying about war with North Korea, but I tell you now, we are at war with a foe far more evil and cunning. Yes. Hey, Susan, good to see you. And Patrick says, prepare. Hey, Hugh, worst mass shooting in history on U.S. soil, Hugh. And it's absolutely the truth. So sad about Vegas. Yes, Sarah. But it's, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. And I don't mean prepared, physically or, bringing food into the house and water. That's part of it. But you got to be prepared. Spiritually. Yes, he's asking for blood donations. Again, if you are in Las Vegas and you can give blood, please go and give blood. They are in desperate need of blood. And for people like myself, I have a rare blood type. People, if you have a rare blood type, please be one of those that goes down and gives blood. People are desperate right now, and they've got to have it. Is there a press briefing today? Jamie, there's been so many. There are just so many. Conservative interpretation of the Second Amendment is killing us. No, Sarah, I disagree. Texas Kilo and A-. I'm not sure what that is. Hello, crew. Great to have your support on this sad day. Hey, Beck. Good to see you. 58 or 59 dead, 515 injured. Yes. Saying no connection to ISIS. Dawn is saying now they're reporting no connection to ISIS. I think at this point ISIS will take credit for anything, but I think we're just going to have to see. It's a wait and see. I mean, first they say yes, and now they say no. Yeah, I'd like to know more about his mental state too, Chris, and see what happened. Because, I mean, I don't know how you go from, literally A to Z like that. It's like a war zone first responders are dealing with, like the victims, they need our prayers. Absolutely. We need to pray for all the people in Las Vegas. And again, this has happened in Vegas. Don't think that's the only place something like this could happen. Yeah, exactly. The Second Amendment protects us from the government and also protects us from instances like this. It's evil, wicked people having guns. Thank you, Penny, for clarifying that. Okay, thank you, Texas. Take care of yourself, okay? God bless. Hey, Monique. 0 plus blood type is rare. No, 0. Oh, you mean O. O positive. Sorry. I told you I was sleepy. O positive is not rare. O positive is universal. Like, more people have O positive than anything. No connection. Okay, person who lives in the country needs guns to live. There you go, Penny. Thank you, Susan, for being here. Really enjoy your live broadcast. God bless you. God bless you too, Patrick. Thank you for coming in. Say hi to Linda, please. This guy lived right down the street from my father. Average retiree. Makes no sense. Do we know where he worked? What his profession was? I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, again, just looking at the one picture I saw, I have no idea what she tweeted. I really don't care. And Texas ranchers need them to protect from illegals, Barbara said. People trying to steal livestock and everything else, I'm sure. Yeah, B positive blood type's kind of rare, Beck. So if people were there, you know, AB positive, AB negative, anything other than O positive, you're starting to get into rare. He lived in that's right, Dawn. Dawn said he lived in a retirement community. I forgot about that. Yes, he did. That's what they were saying. Do it already, please, Jamie said. Go give blood and then maybe go to carolinaprepper.com and see if there's something there that you want to buy to help defend yourself. Also, I don't believe ISIS had anything to do with it. In my opinion, the guy was probably on drugs and enraged at something that triggered him. You know, Monique, I don't know, and I don't want to guess, but this was something, he came in there on Thursday. This was planned out. This was premeditated from what I know of the facts. This wasn't where a guy went off, got enraged, and killed people. This was planned. Good morning, Rhonda. Good to see you. This was premeditated. 3 days worth of premeditation. No, gun control is not urgent, Sarah, but thank you for your opinion. Will the Dems call for gun control? Of course, Jamie. I've got somebody in my scope doing that right now, and they've been doing it all morning. Almost as well planned as a military strike. That is what ISIS does, create a narrative for sick minds. Exactly, Barbara. The Dems always want gun control. Of course they do. Yeah, and then we could end up like France and the rest of Europe, who are getting picked off by people who run them down in cars and stab them to death and everything else. The weapon used were already outlawed. Thanks, Julia. And usually when it's premeditated, it doesn't have to do with guns. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, he checked in on Thursday, and the concert went on for 2 days. He probably watched that concert for 2 nights, you know, wondering, just pinpointing where he was going to be shooting. Again, I have no idea. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying that it seems what they've said. It seems very premeditated. It seems like he was there watching, knew a lot. It's a 100-year anniversary of the Bolshevik Revolution. This is war, plain and simple. Oh, yes, from the room, the concert, the time, so planned, Beck said. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was obvious that he, you know, with cameras in the room, you know, that's, to me, that's premeditation. When you set things up, you've got a platform, you've got cameras, that speaks and smacks of premeditation. Josette said the shooter is roasting in hell as we speak. Talk about justice. Yeah. So just, you know, amazing stuff. And again, as time goes on, Sarah, gun control is not necessary. You may insist. And you know what? You've already said your opinion. Thanks. What should we do if caught in a similar situation? I had a guy that was on my show, and I've heard other people talk about it too. They say, don't stay there. They say, run. Get out as fast as you can. Now, other people, like they used to tell the kids in school, if a shooter was there, you know, crouch over in the room or something like that, in the corner of the room. Well, if you do that and you bundle together with people, you're more of a target. And I've heard other people say, when you hear bullets going off, if there's a possibility to get out, run. Yeah, I know. Texas Walker, I would have too. I would have just, I mean, you hope you would have, but it's like I said, most people went down on the ground. And if you look at the videos, there was no room in between those people. There was nowhere to get up and run. Yeah, exactly, Penny. Advice is to run, hide, and tell. Yes, you have to, they say get out. That's what I've heard experts say, get out. Don't stay, don't get down on the ground. Because a lot of times, and we were told, we've been told that in the past, get down on the ground and all that. You panic and you don't know which direction to run. And Lori, exactly, last night, listening to what, I was listening to on Periscope, I don't know how those people knew where to go. And then they thought it was all over with, and then it started up again. So I don't know if he reloaded, if he picked up another gun. I don't know what he did. It sounded similar to the gun he had just fired, but slightly different, so I don't know. Mike said mass crowds are sitting ducks. And that's what some of the people from last night comments they were saying that they felt like they were in a death box. I thought I saw one said, and that they were sitting ducks. The gunman was spraying bullets at the one way and in one way out area. Oh, they said he had 9 guns. No, 10 is what I heard, Walker. Sad to say, but you should always have an exit plan. I know, Lee. We're not in the same world that we used to be in. There used to be a world where at night my family went to bed and the doors remained unlocked. In fact, we didn't even have a key to the front door. That you're no longer there. And the man who went in and killed those people at the church, I'm hearing that was as revenge for what happened in Charleston when Dylan, I can't even remember his name right now. I'm so tired. But when that little scrawny guy went in and killed those people, thank you, Dylan Roof. They're saying that I heard the other day on the news that was in seeking revenge for what happened with that. And look how long ago that was. And who would have thought that somebody would still be, thinking about doing something like that? I mean, it's crazy. Killing people are crazy. I've been to 3 concerts in my life, and I'm done. Not worth it. And Julia, but is it just concerts? I mean, look at everything else. I mean, concerts, football games, sports events, everything. The media barely covered it because it didn't fit their agenda. Yeah. But so you mean, yeah, exactly. We don't know what the motives are. If you stop living, they win. That's true, Renee. I mean, we have no idea. I mean, but that was a report that came out about the shooter in Charleston, who was seeking revenge for Charleston. So that was, that was something that was being reported. Some people seems to be, Dee, that going a little bit off. Well, thank you, Rhonda. I'm surprised. Anywhere large crowds gather, I don't need that, Julia said. Spencer said, it truly depends on the immediate situation as to run or hit the deck. We only locked our doors when we went on vacation as a kid. Spencer said, it's anywhere there is a mass crowd. You have to worry about who wants to live like that. I know. I mean, you just have to live your life. You got to be prepared. You have to take precautions. When you do go to someplace like that, you do need to see where the exits are. Shooter's brother lives right up the road. Who's to blame if not lack of gun control, Sarah? I think the guy who probably pulled the trigger is to blame. I will live life as usual and not let evil win, Chris said. The media would not touch the story about the black killing the white. They are not interested. Yeah, that's true. That was the guy just recently, right? They really did not talk about. The guy probably watched Maddow and Anderson Cooper a lot and got all angry from the propaganda. Walker said, man speaking now is asking everyone listening to thank a cop or fire person. Yeah, some of the people that were there, I was listening to one firefighter. He basically was, I think, watching the concert. And he went over and said, how can I help? And he went over and started helping. And that's where he said that he saw a lot of bodies and a lot of injured people. Yeah, amen. Thank the cops for doing their jobs. I mean, think about how well they did their jobs. I don't know what kind of training they had in Las Vegas for a situation like that, but they did an amazing job. So, Sarah, you turn in your guns and we'll be happy, okay? You go turn in your guns. Let the rest of us have our constitutional rights. If you want to turn in your guns, go for it. If that'll make you happy, go for it. I stopped going the fourth celebration of the Nation's Ball over this and the hurting of the people for security. If you've ever been in a situation where there's a crowd, I was in a crowd situation one time, and people were trying to get on a trolley. And because, I don't know, most people are about my height or sometimes a little shorter, a little bit taller, but for the most part, most people were taller than me. People, unfortunately, cannot make me happy because it is killing us literally. No, it's not, Sarah, but you go turn in your gun and then you'll be fine because that's what you say. So people were pushing in this crowd of people, and literally, if you had fallen down, you would have been trampled. So, it's not as easy as just, walking through a crowd and saying, well, I'm going to do this and that and the other. When you get in a crowd like that and people aren't moving, other people, they will run over you. It's unfortunate, but they will run over you. I'll turn in my guns when liberals turn in their cars. See the signing C said. Food stamps don't feed poor people all month long. I don't know what you're talking about with food stamps. We're talking about something else. Sarah, no. Sarah, no. We lived in China, talk about crowds. Yes, and Rhonda, you know how dangerous it is to be caught in a crowd. The police did as well as anyone could expect, really. Yes, Spencer, absolutely they did. Talk about it being pitch black dark in Vegas other than the lights. Yeah, when you don't know where the bullets are coming from. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Walker. So, I think that as we find out more things, yeah, well, maybe she is, Barbara. Maybe she's all things. You will probably see an increase in gun ownership. Yeah, gun ownership is already going up. 2017 is more guns being bought because people are afraid of ISIS. And now they're going to have to be, concerned about people like this man, Stephen Paddock, who they say committed all these crimes. So, it's a different world. Yeah, and I mean, again, for a 64-year-old too. I mean that's unusual. I mean, it really is. I mean, the whole thing about this man is unusual. Yeah, we have to ban cars, knives. What else do we have to ban? U-Hauls, everything. Yeah, okay. Have a great one, Sarah. Sorry, I'm blocking Sarah. I can't take anymore. Uh, Democrats care more about gun control than the victims. Governor just asked for everyone to stop and pray. What happened to the lady friend? They supposedly contacted her and said she's not a person of interest. Thank you, Walker. I don't know. Somebody said that she was out of town or out of the country. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't heard that. I just heard that they have contacted her and she's no longer a person of interest. They feel that she's probably going to give them a lot of information about him that will help explain why he did what he did. And let's hope so. Yeah, exactly. One of Saul Alinsky's rules, disarm the people. Exactly. I think his family were in utter shock. His family, again, his brother, Don was saying that, his brother just broke down crying. They said, we can't understand. Okay, so somebody else is saying authorities said she was out of the country. Sarah was probably really Hillary Clinton on the front lines of the fight. Probably Walker. I have no idea what kind of man he was. I know. I mean, you. How could somebody be that angry, that deranged, that whatever influenced, whatever the case may be, to do something like that? I mean, I have no idea. War of 1812 kicked off because we wouldn't give up. The gunpowder and guns, history rhymes, mental disease, Rhonda said. It could be. I have no idea what would make a man do that or a woman. Need food, get a job, plant a garden, quit waiting on the government to do it. We are going to have to be more dependent upon ourselves and each other to do things. I don't think it's a false flag. Calculated. No, it's not a false flag. It's an actual event. People died. People are injured. People are in the hospital. Lots of mixed narratives to be expected. I know. You know, there's got to be somewhere along the line you're going to have to look at this and say everything is a false flag. There are people who are being killed. It's not a false flag. Hi, Danielle. All right, you guys, I have got to go, but I appreciate so much you being here. I may be back on during the day to talk more about this as more comes out. God bless you guys. You know, please stay safe. Say to your family today how much you love them. Talk to people. I won't be able to sleep, Robin. I wish I could. But please just tell everybody how much you love them. I appreciate you guys coming in here. Love all of you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Take care. Please retweet this if you will. Thank you. All right, everybody on YouTube, thanks so much. If you would please share this, I really appreciate it. Take care.